What's up? What's up? It's Newbies to Movies, and I'm Tyler.
And I'm Justin.
And this week we are doing like a 2025 recap, our first year of the podcast, but then also two big movies that have been coming out the last 2 months that we want to wrap it all up with. First, we're going to start off with we've been watching for the last week. And Justin, if you want to start.
Yeah, I caught up on Stranger Things, so I'm on episode 6. I haven't watched episode 7 yet, but it's getting pretty interesting. I'm not sure how I feel about them kind of changing the lore of the Upside Down this late into the game, with it, spoiler alert, with it kind of being a wormhole to a pocket dimension is kind of interesting. That just being the midpoint, even though we've spent the last 4 seasons there. It's kind of definitely a play, but we'll see where they go with it. I have faith in them to do something good with it, I hope.
Yeah. Without getting into really any spoilers, because it just came out and there's still the final episode left. My one thing is I think that this finale is going to have to be really, really special and like Breaking Bad kind of finale special in order for it to wrap itself up well. I think these last 3 episodes have taken a turn for the worse. I was really excited with volume 1. I thought it was really good, well done, well set up. And then volume 3, it was just a bunch of nothing burgers for me. other than just like the wormhole thing, like other than that, again, I don't want to talk about episode 7, but like there's a couple scenes where you're just like, this makes no sense.
Yeah.
And then at some point they just got to grow some balls and like kill off some people,
Yeah.
You shouldn't wait till the final episode to do it. All big characters. It's just like, dude, you got to do it. You keep talking about it's like the life stakes, like world's about to end kind of thing. And yeah, they just haven't been taking the balls to do it. So hopefully the finale lives up to the hype. They got 2 hours to do it. So, you got to trust, right? You got to trust that they wrap it up well, or else it's going to end up like Game of Thrones where everyone's like, it's great, but the finale sucks.
I know. And it's hard to like look at a TV show and be like, how are they going to wrap this all up in one episode, I guess? But we got to remember it's 2 hours. Like that's a whole movie. You can really get some stuff done.
Yeah. And the last 4 seasons, their finales were like their best episodes. So I'm trusting that they can do it well. Then the movie that I'll talk about is Avatar, the Fire and Ash. I watched that the day after Christmas. I think Pandora itself and like the Avatar world is really cool. For me personally, I watched the other 2 in theaters as well. I just think it's such a unique world. And for its CGI, you compare this to like any other movie and it's like there's levels. Avatar is like the top level of CGI. It looks so real, so cool. The world building is so special. And every time you go into the movie, you just feel like you're put back into Pandora. With that being said, the movie's plot is very repetitive of the second movie.
That's what
very repetitive. I think there's more highs than the second movie, but at the same time, there's more lows and it's still repetitive points of plot. I think they go more into like being an outlier family concept and what actually family means more in this movie. They're also a lot about grief because they lose a child in the second one. So it's about that. But another example of the director, James Cameron, and the writers, they got to grow some balls. And there's a big battle where a bunch of people die and none of the people in the family die. It's like, that's not realistic. Everybody else's family people die and then just no one from that. Another thing of like, you got to take chances.
I've heard, I've talked to you about this. I've just never really gotten into Avatar that much. Like I understand, the significance of the CGI and everything. But from what I've heard is James Cameron kind of shoved in a lot of small plot points into this movie because he wanted to do them in Avatar 4 and he just didn't think it was going to happen. And so some other complaints were that a lot of small plot points were shoved in and they kind of felt shoehorned in just to be there rather than to actually carry out through the movie.
Yeah, there's a human character in it called Spider, and it's focused more on him, which it kind of has to with the plot. I don't think he's the best actor, so I think that's also a problem where like you're gonna have one guy actor and he's just not that good. I think the first half of the movie is really good, and then the second half of the movie, it's almost just copycatted from the second of like a storyline and final battle. And it's also called Fire and Ash. There's barely any fire, and there's barely any. I fully expected the final battle to be like next to a volcano, and I would have been like, "This is sick."
Yeah,
but no, it was on water again, like the second one. With that being said, it's still like in my top 15 of the year, just because I think how it looks and being brought into the world is such a cool and unique movie experience. For example, going into that theater, it's already been out for a week and a half and it was still packed. Like,
Yeah.
it's going to be $1 billion this year. It's still going to be worldwide, like a huge movie.
It's done crazy numbers at the box office.
Yeah. Yeah, it's going to be absolutely huge still. It's still a great movie, but like, if you really want to get into it, it's like, it's definitely the third of like the three of movies. Like it's number 3 for me. But the other two are still astronomically really good movies. So it's like, all right, cool. So yeah, this week is about 2025. And really what we wanted to do was talk about a lot of different movies, but specifically for this, we're calling out Knives Out, Wake Up Dead Man. It's on Netflix right now. So you can just watch it if you have Netflix subscription. And then the other one being Marty Supreme, which came out Christmas Day. First one we're going to do is Knives Out. So it came out in October or early December 12th. It came out in October to like a bunch of film festivals. And it came out when I was like listening to podcasts about it. There was a lot of mixed reviews about it. So coming into it, I came in with like kind of grain of salt. I think it's gotten really good reviews once it actually come out to the public.
Yeah.
It has like a 92% Rotten Tomatoes. I think like a 95 audience score. I really like the movie. Getting into the plot, I gave it a 10 out of 10 just because when I first watched it the first time, I had no idea who it was until like 5 minutes before it was revealed.
Yeah.
Like I could not predict it. I didn't know where it was going. It was all over the place. There was like subtle shadowing of like different things behind the scenes of stuff that only if you were paying attention, like a murder mystery should be. Like little clues that give you, especially watching the second time, I could see it like the whole time. Like a murder mystery, if you figure it out, you can see it afterwards, but during it, you're blind to it.
Yeah.
So I think, yeah.
I like the plot a lot, especially coming off that bomb, which was Glass Onion. I was kind of worried going into this. I didn't have much interest in seeing it, honestly, but I'm glad I watched it. I think they really got back to their original ways. Just the plot conveyed well. The characters all had meaning. You cared about all the characters, which is so important, especially in something like this. You have to care about these characters' interests and what they have going on to kind of try to determine yourself who the murderer is. And they got back to that, which I was really happy to see.
Yeah, it's like focused around the priest with Josh O'Connor, and I think he does a great job. And it's like such a compelling story because he like accidentally killed somebody being a boxer, and then he turned into a priest because of it. And then like throughout, like religion is a huge part about this movie too. So yes, it's a murder mystery, but it's also about how important religion is and like forgiving people and forgiving people's sins and all that kind of thing, which I thought was also such an interesting plot point to put next to like a Knives Out movie, where the last one was more so about like being rich and all that, which like not many people can relate to. And the first one is again about family, but like the kid's not really feeling like the parent never felt connected to his actual kids. They weren't there for him. They were just there for his money. This one gets back to that like root of like what every single person in like the United States probably can feel, like relate to in some way. So I thought that was really cool as well. Getting into characters, I gave it a 9 out of 10. I think the actors definitely help, but I think there's some like Daniel Craig as Benoit Blanc is really, I think this is the funniest he's been in most of these movies. He's so funny in it. And then Josh O'Connor's the priest. He's a standout of the film by far. I mean, he's the main actor of it, but he's such a standout. What did you think?
Yeah, no, all the side characters were fine, but those two were definitely the big ones. This is the best I've seen Daniel Craig as Ben LeBlanc. He was funny and charismatic, which I don't think we got both of before. It was just kind of one or the other in each individual scene. And then Josh O'Connor was a real standout. I mean, the struggle of him, trying to, clear his own name, but also still be a reliable priest was such a cool character dynamic. And I think he played it perfectly, specifically that scene, where he's on the phone with the lady who works for the construction site, and he just completely flips a switch. It goes from I need to clear my name to I'm a priest and I need to help people. It was really, really neat.
Yeah, no, that was such a cool scene, like watching it and how you could see him. He's like, no, my point isn't to be like figure out this murder. His point is to like help people through like their tough situations, and he gets through that. I mean, Josh Brolin does so well as well, like not being a likable priest, which probably is super hard to act.
Yeah,
being a priest, but you also like hate him.
Yeah,
another standout character for me, to where you just don't like him the whole movie, so you don't even feel bad that when he dies, when he's the one murdered, and you don't even see the person murdered until like 30 minutes into the movie. which is
Yeah.
also insane. Because the second one, it like happens at the end of the movie. That one's weird.
Yeah.
And then the first one happens right at the beginning. Getting to cinematography, I give it a 10 out of 10 because, again, rewatching it, they literally show you all the clues. Like the entire story, like Benoit Blanc explains, you can see it when you watch it one way through.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, wow. Like, that's such a cool like way to like show a story, especially like a murder mystery.
One of the things in cinematography that really like took me by surprise was early in the movie when Ben LeBlanc first comes in and is sitting down with Josh O'Connor in the church, and Josh O'Connor doesn't know if he's like who he is yet. He just thinks he's like a patron coming by the church. The lighting through the church windows was insane in that moment. Whenever they would talk about the murder, everything got super dark in the room compared to like the bright sun shining through. That was so cool and such good attention to detail. I love things like that.
Yeah. And then like when he has the Path to Damascus like thing right before he reveals who it is, and the light just shines on him, and he's like, oh, I can't solve it. It's to give somebody their, like, again, it's like a forgiveness and like giving somebody some like leeway and like understanding kind of thing.
Yep.
Rather than just, because like it was more like a mystery for him or he just wants to solve it, but then he's like, okay, it's not all about that.
Yep.
Like that's not what the whole thing is. Dude, there's so many cool shots when like Josh O'Connor, like the priest and Benoit Blanc talk to each other like in the woods, and then you could see like the Knightsman, which turns out to be Jeremy Renner's character, walking in the back with like the light. Like you could just see him all the way in the back, and I was like, dude, that's so cool. I saw it the first time and I was like, whatever. And then second time I was like, oh. So like they set up little things here and there. And
I hate to keep harping on it, but there was nothing like this in the last one. Like there was just, there was nothing. There was like, nothing burger.
The dialogue, I give it 8 out of 10 because I think Josh O'Connor's line and Benoit when they're together, great stuff. Absolutely spectacular. Josh Brolin is hilarious with some of his dialogue. Entire like reading to the other priest the entire time. I was like, dude, this is funny. But there are some lines that are kind of cheesy, not all the way there. Mila Kunis's like the police detective character. Every time she talked in the movie and every time I saw her, I was like, wow, you could tell that she is in the lowest league compared to all these other people.
Yeah. And I think part of it too is like it can't like become too serious of a movie because this is a family movie at the end of the day, and it's supposed to be like cheesy comedy. Like when Josh Brolin's just like, I masturbated 46 times in the past 5 days or whatever. It's just like, all right, it's supposed to be like goofy fun too for that family audience, but. So I didn't give it too much hate on the dialogue from that aspect, just because I know some of the lines are going to have poor delivery, but it's because they're supposed to be there. You know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely some of that, especially when they get into like each character and they like explain the backstory of them. There's like some certain lines that are kind of cheap, like, but it's specifically pointing out like the police part of it, like the police involvement in the whole movie for me is like such a miss. And I don't think it's necessarily the writing. And this gets right into my acting, where I gave acting 8 out of 10. With the biggest hit on if they put any other actress like on pretty much the same level of like popularity as Mila Kunis, they probably do way better.
Yeah.
I'm not a big fan of her. I don't think she's a good actress. I think she just did the 70s show and then ran with it. And she's married to Ashton Kutcher. She was by far the weakness of this movie, and it was so apparent rewatching it even more. To be fair, you got like Oscar nominated actresses and actors all over and Golden Globe, and she's like the only one that wasn't.
Yeah. That's fair. I think the one guy,
Andrew Scott.
Yeah, I don't think he was that great in this either. But again, like every line he had was super cheesy and corny, so I couldn't just like take him seriously.
Yeah, exactly. Which is interesting. Kaylee Spaney was really good in it as well. She was like the bassist, the cello player.
Yeah,
I thought she was really well. She's been in a lot of different things this year, man. She was in Civil War a year ago. She was in Alien Romulus. I'm a big fan of her. I like everything that she's in. So it's cool to see her like in a movie with like a bunch of other big names.
Yeah. And I mean, it's hard. You have like all these big people with big personalities, especially their characters, and you got to fit all of them in what, an hour and a half, 2 hours. It's tough.
Yeah. Glenn Close is really good too as Martha. And then Josh Brolin again, just shout out to him. Both of the Joshes, Josh O'Connor and Josh Brolin, were just really special in this movie. Yeah, we did a whole podcast about Josh Brolin, so it was cool to see him kind of cook.
And a different role too from what we've seen him in.
Yeah, exactly. And then Weapons, which I saw earlier this year, he's a total different role. So it's like,
Yeah.
man, he's got some range. For sound effects, I gave it 8 out of 10. You know, it's like a normal murder mystery kind of sound effects to it, where it's like, bomb, bomb, bomb. Like,
yeah. That was funny when he played the piano.
Yeah. Yeah. So I thought that was like cool to add to it. I don't think it was anything like crazy special to give it a 10 out of 10, but it was something like cool to add on to it and different textures of like sound. The set design, I think it was really cool to get like set it in a church pretty much. Very unique. Again, using those church lights, the different parts of it, like, and then it ends like all like over the cross. I think overall the set design was really unique and kind of like foreshadowed like different parts up to the movie. What do you think?
No, I agree. I mean, just staying in that little, area of land where the church lies, where the priest lives, all that stuff was really cool to me. Especially like in the last one, you kind of contained yourself to one island, which felt, I don't know, just felt a little bit too contained. But with this one, it left everything open. You didn't know where everybody was at all the time, which gave a bigger sense of mystery, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah. It didn't like show you how to get to each place. It just showed you the places. While the island was like, you could kind of just use context clues at where everything was.
Yeah.
It's definitely, and then directing 9 out of 10. This is my personal favorite out of the three. Now thinking about it and rewatching the second time, I just think, and I rewatched the first one too, just to make like, check it. And yeah, I like this one a little bit more. I think it's a little bit well put together. I think the acting's a little bit better than the first one too. So yeah, but then the directing, his direction with it, going from Glass Onion, a lot of directors may either try to go too big and rather he went smaller scale, but with like just as big as actors, which I thought was a really good choice by him.
You don't have to do some big grand thing for these movies. You have to make them family friendly, corny, funny, and make the mystery good enough to where everybody can stay in it. And I think he did that with this movie.
Yeah, I agree. Editing, gave it 8 out of 10. I thought it was really well cut. Again, you just like see different foreshadowing of like how what happened, how different things occurred, and again rewatching it, you kind of see how it was Martha the whole time. Spoiler alert, how it was more Martha. Like you can kind of see it almost like the entire back half of the movie. She like keeps popping up random places. It's kind of like a gag at the beginning of the movie, like it's funny because she just like pops out of nowhere. But then she's like, she seems concerned about stuff. She's like checking in. She's like the only suspect that is really checking in. So I thought that was also interesting foreshadowing.
Yeah, I think the only thing I'd give on editing was at first watch, I was like, the explanation of everything that happened felt a little drawn out. But after I realized like it was needed for Ben LeBlanc's character arc, even to kind of realize like, hey, I'm not going to make this about me. This is about Martha's story.
Yeah. Yeah. Theme, I gave it a 9 out of 10 because I think there's a lot speaking to like religion, grief, like greed itself.
Greed is a big one. Yeah.
Yeah. Greed is a huge thing. And then just like forgiveness overall of like people's sins, and people do things for a reason. And sometimes it's not the best thing, but it's to protect as well. Yeah. There's just a lot of themes that I really liked that they touched in this movie that I think in the last two, they didn't go into really diving deep into them, where I think this one, they really had a lot of lines that were really deep.
And I think that's why we cared so much more about these characters than we ever have, right? Like it gave them so much more stakes and depth, which was perfect.
Josh O'Connor's character had some really like deep like points in the plot to where he was growing himself as a priest. So it was like really cool. It's also interesting because the last thing I saw him in was Challengers, to where he's like a cocky tennis player.
Yeah.
And then he plays this and I'm like, wow, this guy needs to be in more new movies, and he's going to be in the next Spielberg movie. So that should be pretty cool. Yeah. Cool. So total, I gave it 8.8 out of 10 or 88 out of 100. A pretty high ranking, but it is in my top 10 for the year. Mm-hmm. So like it kind of makes sense. I give it 4.5 stars. It's like, I really enjoyed the movie.
Yeah. I gave it a 8.3 or an 83 out of 10. Not anything particular bringing it down. Like we kind of talked about, there was a little bit of cheesy dialogue, but again, I think that's what's you're gonna get in these movies. It makes it fun. It makes it for the families that are sitting at home around Christmas time watching all together. But I really enjoyed this movie, and I still think I like the first one a little bit better, just because it is the first one, but definitely way better than the last one, and right up there with the first one for me.
Yeah. Yeah. I think the reason why I like this so much is because, like, I mean, murder mystery and like thrillers is like my favorite
Yeah,
genre by
that's your
far.
go-to.
And this is kind of like a comedy thriller drama. So that's why I also think I like this so much.
Yeah.
And it's like, because I listen to like murder podcasts all the time, and this kind of just feels like you're listening to a murder podcast being untold to you.
Yep.
Cool. So this week we also wanted to do something like fun, where we decided we wanted to create our next Knives Out 4 ideas and like story plots. Do you want me to go first, or do you want to go first?
Go ahead, man. This is your category. I want to hear it.
Okay. All right. So the theme and setting, this one is going to be mainly focused on Benoit Blanc's personal life, because we don't really know anything about his personal life. So it's about his rival detective, which is his ex-wife, but it is a personal for Benoit as it involves his brother and his daughter's friend group on a ski trip in Utah. But him and his ex-wife were not invited, and they're not there, but rather his daughter and her friend group went on a ski trip, and his brother and another couple and his wife were on the same ski trip, but they didn't purposely go there together.
Yeah.
So they just happened to be on the same resort at the same time, and they just happened to be there. And then a murder happens, and both of him and his ex-wife show up because they want to help solve a murder. And the reason why they got divorced in the first place, because they're both like top end detectives. So that's like the theme and setting behind it. The ex that's going to be playing it would be Julia Roberts, which I think would be a really interesting big name. Also alongside Daniel Craig. They just look good together too.
Mm-hmm.
The daughter being Emma Watson.
Yeah, there you go.
She plays Hermione in Harry Potter. Just looking at both of them together, it looks like that she could be their daughter, pretty much. The brother being Damian Lewis. Do you know who that is?
Yeah.
Yeah. Another British guy. Look, him and Daniel Craig, if you look up what Damian Lewis looks like, they look almost exactly like each other.
Yeah.
Like he could pull off the brother. His wife being Regina King, and she was in One Vow After Another. Now, the other couple, like with the brother and his wife, so they're in like the same like lodge, is Seth Rogen and Sarah Paulson. I really want to see Seth Rogen in like this kind of movie, because I think he would thrive in it.
Yeah.
Because I think he'd be really funny. The daughter's friend group being David Johnson. He was in The Long Walk. He's one of the more younger actors, and he's going to be like the daughter's love interest / like not everyone knows that it's a love interest kind of thing.
Yeah.
He's a little younger than everyone else in the friend group, because the other parts of the friend group is Joe Keery. He's in Stranger Things. Emily Clark. She's in Game of Thrones.
Mm-hmm.
She's like, and then Io Edebiri. She's in The Bear. And the one murdered, though, is going to be his brother, Damian Lewis. So it's a very personal matter for Benoit Blanc. So it's really put in a certain situation. And the night leading up to it was they figured out, like, obviously his brother realizes that he's related to the daughter. So, like, why not? Like, they meet up for drinks after skiing all day.
Mm-hmm.
They all get, like, kind of drunk, but nothing too crazy. And it kind of leads up to, like, a couple days. And then there's a murder on, like, the 5th day of his brother. And it can just kind of dive into, like, different plot lines of how each person affects the other, and everyone's a suspect.
I like that.
Yeah.
Because you would be seeing a different side of his character. You know, we've never really seen his own personal connection to most of these movies.
Yeah. Would want to see how he reacts when it's like a personal matter, compared, like, if there's biases or anything like that. Yeah. So overall, that's my like story and all that. I'm not going to reveal who the killer is. I don't think either of us are, just because that's like the idea, or like why or anything happened. Let's just say that there's some affairs going around, some sleeping around that all affects one another. Maybe some money as well. That probably leads up to it all. But I also think it'd be interesting, like, see the rivalry between him and his ex-wife, but then like also personal, because his brother just died.
Yeah.
So it's like, also interesting.
All right, cool. I like that. So I think we were both thinking about Daniel Craig, weird enough, For me, something that was blatantly obvious in this one, and maybe purposefully so, is that he looked very old. I'm not saying you have to get rid of him, but what I'm thinking is a prequel story explaining the origins of his family's detective roots back in the 1950s with his dad. Black and white. I'm going full murder mystery, like noir style, and it's going to be taking place around a speakeasy style bar. I know the speakeasies were done at that point. You could just go to a bar, but that same style, like really old fashioned style bar.
Mm-hmm.
What I would have is Daniel Craig narrating most of this movie. I would have Aaron Taylor Johnson playing Beau LeBlanc, father of Ben LeBlanc, and he's a young detective in New Orleans on the police force trying to make a name for himself. Clearly, it's made obvious early in the movie that he has an innate ability for solving crimes and really good at catching clues, just like Ben. I have Matthew McConaughey playing an older, hard-boiled detective who doesn't really see any good in the world anymore. I think that tandem would be fun, but mainly centered around Aaron Taylor Johnson.
Yeah.
Getting into like the main characters of the murder, I have Tom Hardy is a corrupt the bar owner who takes advantage of a lot of people in need, giving them money that he knows that they'll never be able to pay back. And he is later killed in the bar that night by somebody. So getting into like, the crew, I have Margaret Qualley, which I love her, plays a wrongfully accused girl from out of town who's visiting her grandfather and has been stuck there for about a month and needs money to get home. I have Anya Taylor-Joy plays kind of like the femme fatale role in this. She's like an up-and-coming model in a troubled town, but struggles to get out of her toxic relationship in this town because her boyfriend's funding like her modeling career, and she can't really find an escape out. I have Tom Holland, who plays a young rich kid who helps Tom Hardy's character fund these loans that he's giving out to these people, obviously for a hefty cut, but he's using his family's fortune without them knowing.
Yeah.
And then I have Lakeith Stanfield playing a young server in the speakeasy who's really good at reading people and understanding their problems, helping pave the way to send them to Tom Hardy's character. And then I have Mikey Madison, who plays a no BS bartender. She keeps the job just because the money's good, but always kind of turned a blind eye to Tom Hardy's games, even though she doesn't really agree with it. And then I have Jeremy Allen White, who just plays a drunk construction worker who regulars this bar and is a bad husband. But that's as far as I got. I didn't come up with a killer or anything like that. Obviously, these are all really huge names, so that budget would have to be massive.
Yeah.
I was mainly going for a really young actor crowd centered around that. Just to see them all on screen would be really cool.
Yeah. There's only one person you would have to replace because Lakeith Stanfield is in the first one.
Oh my God, I forgot about that.
Yeah.
Now until you said that, I completely forgot about it.
Probably just go to somebody that he works with all the time. Just go to Daniel Kaluuya.
Yeah, there you go. Or bring Lakeith Stanfield back as Lakeith Stanfield's dad from the first Knives Out.
Yeah. It's just give him like a really fake mustache.
It would fit.
Yeah. No, that's interesting. Dad, you would definitely have to pull out some crazy amount of money for that cast, but those are all like leading names nowadays.
I think the characters are cool and mainly the setting. I think it would be cool to go back in time and see why Ben LeBlanc is so into what he does, being more than just like his career, but being like a family passion.
They could get like 3 of those big names and then like fill in with like similar kind of actors. Yeah, similar kind of actors or actresses that are still coming up that don't require a certain kind of pay cut.
Dude, we cooked. These are some good, I would be interested in watching both of these.
Yeah, me too. I think I chose like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think I chose 6 British actors unknowingly, just because I was like thinking about Daniel Craig himself, and I was like, oh, he's British. So I want people to look like him.
Yeah.
But awesome. Cool. And the other movie that we did this week is Marty Supreme, which we both saw in theaters. Justin, if you want to go off with it.
Yeah. I kind of wanted to preface this with, at the beginning of this year, we're at the end of the year, so we're coming around. I was not the biggest Timothée Chalamet fan, but then I sat down, I watched Beautiful Boy. I also watched A Complete Unknown, the Bob Dylan biopic, and it kind of changed my mind about him. So I was very eager to see this movie over the past couple of weeks. Tyler could tell you it's all I was really talking about. I just sitting down and watching this movie, it was so obvious that this guy's got so much range, and I'm like a huge fan now. So I'm so happy he came around on me. But getting into the plot, spoiler warning for anybody who hasn't seen, seeing as the movie literally just came out this week. We will be talking about spoilers from here on out. So if you want to pause it and come back, feel free to do so. But getting into the plot, obviously it follows Marty Mauser, played by Timothée Chalamet, as he kind of navigates his life as a table tennis prodigy. You know, he's seeking to escape the town and city that he lives in, you know, to get to Japan to play in the World Nationals or whatever it's called, but also just to kind of get out of that day-to-day life and just trying to figure it out. He wants to make a name for himself. You know, he gets involved in some really elaborate schemes and risky affairs trying to get over to Japan, and he's really just trying to chase his dream and make it any way he can. And I mean, literally any way he can.
Yeah.
He gets really desperate in this movie, but it's so well played by him. I gave it a 9.
Yeah. Yeah. I describe this plot as just like a straight adrenaline rush, like the entire movie. It does not feel like 2 hours at all. The entire movie, you're just like on the edge of your seat. Just like the one moment you relax is he's in a bathtub and then he falls through the floor. And then it's just like, it sets off another transpiring of events. And you're just like, all right, here we go again.
Yeah.
Like, oh, maybe the movie's about to settle down a little bit. It's like, nope, just keep going. Just keep going.
Yeah.
It's very,
It was
it's
just
very
intense watch the whole time, but I loved it. And, you know, people were talking about being similar to Uncut Gems. I completely agree. If you've seen Uncut Gems, go watch this movie. You'll enjoy it.
Yeah. It's very similar to Good Time too, which I saw like a week. I wanted to watch it before the movie because I was like I want to see these Safdie brothers movies before. And it's very similar in like the way where it just feels like an adrenaline rush the whole time. I think it's so well done. And like, so you can see a guy desperate, but he just believes in himself and he's cocky like the whole movie. Like he's like one of the weirdest people that you're like kind of rooting for, but you're also like accepting that he's not a good person. Like
it's so odd. Like he's a terrible person throughout this entire movie, and somehow you're like rooting for the guy. It's like, I don't know how it was done. Honestly, my mind's still kind of twisted up about it. Getting into the characters, I gave it a 10. This is probably more leaning on the directing side, but it's pretty amazing how Josh Safdie was just like, instead of going to find actors to play these characters, I'm just going to play people who are these characters. I mean, even down to like the Harlem Globetrotters. I don't know if you noticed, it was like actual basketball players. Like Kemba Walker was in there.
Yeah.
But I mean, everybody, right? So Timothée Chalamet is just like kind of a cunty looking guy, I guess. And he's just a guy who really is passionate about what he does.
Yeah, he literally is Marty Supreme of acting world. Last year at the Guilds, he literally said, I want to be one of the best. And he's like, I know people don't like hearing this, but I want to be one of the best. And I'm going to do whatever it takes to be one of the best. And this movie is literally about that. He is like the one guy that could play this role. I don't think any other actor could play this role.
I agree.
How he does. Yeah.
I agree completely. I mean, like Gwyneth Paltrow, like she was literally playing like a older actress who's like still trying to stay in the game. That's exactly what she's doing right now. Kevin O'Leary, not an actor, but it was playing a whole businessman. And I think he played it great. A lot of people are kind of trashing him, saying he didn't do that well. I thought he did great at that. He played exactly himself.
For not being an actor, like I was surprised by how good he played because he's just playing himself. And then Tyler, the Creator too, like, what a crazy first role to do, like in a big movie like this. Like,
and the whole time I didn't think he was his character. It was just like, oh, that's Tyler, the Creator. And that's exactly how he acts all the time. It feels like.
Yeah. But if you don't know rap, then you're just like, oh, like he's a pretty good actor.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cause I told my mom, cause I saw it with my mom and I was like, yeah, that's that's a Grammy winning actor right there. That's in this movie. And she was like, oh, really? And I was like, yeah, he's like one of the biggest rappers in the world.
Yeah. And then for cinematography, I gave it a 9. I kind of read a little bit about it. They used a 35 millimeter film to kind of give it that really old school grainy 50s look. And I thought the shots were great and deep connection to the story throughout the movie. I mean, pretty much every shot had, cinematography going on in one way or another, telling you little bit about the side character we were seeing, or a little bit about Marty's and his dream and desire to get where he wants to be.
A lot of close-up shots of his face too, which
Mhm.
is done a lot in Uncut Gems and Good Time between the Safdie brothers. They really like those close-up shots. But some other, like, they showed, like, when they were playing table tennis was really cool as well. When they showed, because I watched like a reel that showed the footage from the actual like tournament of Marty
Yeah.
Reisman, which is based off of, and it looks like almost exactly like how it looked in the movie, which is
Yep.
also really cool.
Yeah, I've seen that video too. That was very neat. Getting into dialogue, I gave it a 10. I thought the dialogue in this movie was pretty much perfect. I wouldn't change any other line, I don't think. But, you know, like every week I have my favorite line. Marty says, I have a purpose. And if you think that's some sort of blessing, it's not. It just means I have an obligation to see a very specific thing through. And with that obligation comes a lot of sacrifice. I thought that was perfect. And I thought that perfectly described the ego of his character. He felt like he was the chosen one, and he felt like he had to see that through, or like his life would be a waste, basically.
Yeah, it was very well done. Just so many lines throughout it where he's just playing this cocky guy that's just talking it up. But since he believes so much in himself, like he's just talking people around circles pretty much. Like there's a scene where when he's still at New York, was it London? Yeah, it was when he's in London.
Yeah.
And he invites like Kevin O'Leary's character over in front of like Rockwell, because he pretty much just wants to get with his wife. But like he's just talking around him to like, this guy should be pissed at him because he's clearly kind of hitting on like his wife, like, without really knowing, but kind of, you gotta know, right?
Yeah.
A little bit. But he just talks around in corners to get him to get into it. And he's also impulsive. Like there's a lot of dialogue where it shows how impulsive he is by just saying stuff really out of pocket that he probably should not be saying.
Yeah.
And kind of messes him up over, like messes him up.
And again, it, like, to me, it didn't even feel like Timmy was playing like a cocky character. It just felt like he believed that. Like he believed and backed everything he said with no like hesitation at all, which made it work so well for him as the character. But also just like, I think it speaks to like doing that in real life too. Like if you like stand behind what you're saying, like people will believe you. Now, not saying everything he said was right and you should do that, but I'm just saying, if you speak with your chest a little bit more, sometimes people will believe you.
Yeah. Yeah. He does some really horrible stuff in this movie, which.
Yeah. With the set design, I gave it a 9. I thought the whole everything in New York was so amazing looking, especially when he's running from the cop and running in between buildings, into buildings, kind of moving around that way. I thought it looked amazing. And it honestly just blows my mind how you can make modern day New York look that old for a movie like that. It was pretty neat to see.
Yeah. Like the Tokyo scene too is really coolly set up, like with the crowd, all the different New York parts. Yeah. The table tennis, like the underground table tennis lounge that he was playing at, the house set up at the gas station. All of those set pieces were really cool.
Yeah. So cool. And then acting, I gave a 9. I think Timmy stole the show here. Just the locked in vibe of his character. And then the changes to the end of the film, dude, that last scene, you know, when just tears pouring down his eyes was so deep and so much emotion, especially from somebody we haven't seen any emotion from the whole movie.
Yeah.
I think the supporting cast was great too. I didn't really see any weaklings at all.
No, I thought this acting was like close to perfect.
Yeah.
I think Timmy's going to be the only one that really gets any love at the Oscars or any nominations, but it's because he is the movie. Like, I think he's not in the movie for like 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Not even that. Probably like 2 minutes.
I think the hard part too for like supporting actors, who do you even put it in there as? He has different relationships with all these different supporting actors, and they're each dove into about the same amount, I'd say.
Yeah.
If anybody, I'd say Gwyneth Paltrow probably the most, but even then, it's like you could make a case for it being Kevin O'Leary or even Odessa and her character arc. That would be tough to do.
Yeah, very tough. But I thought he was amazing in this.
Yeah.
I'm in the same boat as you, where I'm not coming into the year. I wasn't the biggest fan of him. I personally like the Dune movies, but I don't think he's the best in them. But I also just can't believe that a guy that's the leader and supposed to be this great battler is as skinny as he is. I don't know. For me, I loved him in this. Love him. Complete Unknown. I haven't seen Wonka. I feel like now I need to check it out to see if he really has range. Yeah. But I watched The King on the flight back yesterday,
Yeah.
and that was really good. And I was like, okay, I can hate on this guy as much as I can, but like he's
He's
got
just
it. He's
doing
got
it.
the juice. He's
Yeah.
literally, I think he's just like literally the next DiCaprio.
And
He's
he's
like
not scared to say it too. And I think there's something to be said for that.
yeah, yeah,
Getting into directing, I know we talked about a little bit about it with the casting and everything like that. Safdie really killed this, and I wasn't really expecting much less, honestly. I kind of talked to you about it, just how like hyped up this movie was for me and how let down I was going to be if this movie sucked.
yeah,
I was slightly concerned too of like an Uncut Gems too. It was the same in the right ways and vastly different in the right ways, if that makes sense. I don't know. Everything
yeah.
just hit perfect for me.
Very similar themes to where it's like you're rooting for these shitty guys going
Yeah,
through these crazy situations. And again, very similar to Good Time. I think you need to check out Good Time because
I
that
do.
stars Robert Pattinson. Um, and very similar, like doing a bunch of shitty things for specific reasoning because they all
Yeah.
are. Um, and three crazy actors too, just to give like Josh Safdie, like, or the Safdie brothers. Also, you could see that maybe Josh Safdie was the better director,
Yeah.
because Smashing Machine came out this movie with Benny Safdie directing, and I think it's personally a flop. Had a lot of potential. I think The Rock is really good in it, but I think the direction of it wasn't the best, and there's a lot of like missteps with it. But Josh Safdie, I mean, any movie they make together or he makes from now on, he's got me sat down.
Yeah, I mean, you
He's got
took the
him.
guy from Twilight, the guy from Jack and Jill, and then Lisan Al Gaib.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you figure
Yeah.
something out, I guess. You know
Yeah,
how to direct.
exactly. Yeah.
The soundtrack and score for this movie, I gave a 10. Basically used throughout the whole movie. I was like smiling ear to ear every time a song came on to kind of either, portray a plot point or move from one scene to the other. It showed emotion and carried through heavy plot points, especially, at the end when Marty's realizing he'll have a kid who will also have to face the same trials to reach his dreams. And everybody rules the world wants to come on, or everybody wants to
Yeah.
rule the world comes on. I was like, wow. I mean, it's just, yeah, so well done.
Yeah. Yeah. For sure. I mean, it adds to like the adrenaline part of it, right? It keeps your heart racing, like every single
Yeah.
part of it. Like there's no misstep. And you know how we talk about in a lot of like more drama focused movies to where it's a little slower pace. Sometimes no music is better than some music. This is the opposite of that.
Yeah.
When you want like this constant chase of a movie, the same with One Battle After Another, both movies did really good jobs at like when you have this constant chase of a movie, you need to have music that backs it up and like keeps your heart beating. So I think that was good.
Yeah, it was perfect. And then theme, I gave a 10 for this one. Obviously, relentless ambition when chasing your dreams was the main point, right? Every scene, he's doing whatever it takes to try to get to Japan, but also the corrosive hustle of capitalism and just kind of how hard it is to try to make it where you want to be, especially as a poor kid from New York, in his case, but the messy pursuit of it all too. I mean, there's so many different things you can go into here. A big one was the dynamic between him and Endo being the same person on paper, right? Both great table tennis players. One guy is getting upheld as a hero from his country, and then the other is getting literally kicked around and thrown in the dirt in his country.
Mm-hmm.
It was such an interesting dynamic to see, just the comparison between the two of them.
Yeah. I mean, this movie's got me really convinced and like bought me in for a guy that plays table tennis. And it was released on Christmas Day, one of the biggest marketing campaigns, which we can also talk about, just
Yeah.
about him, about, again, a ping pong movie. When else has ping pong been in a movie other than Forrest Gump for like 15 minutes?
Yeah.
So it's like the fact that this movie is revolved all around him being like the best like table tennis player is also very interesting theme to add on to like wanting to be the best in everything. And then it all concludes up with like seeing his kid and like breaking down because he's like, it goes from like, I want to be the best in something, but I just won, or I just completed this goal of mine, which was proving that he was the best. He was what he talked about. And now he's like, instead of doing it all for that, now I'm going to do it all for you. And like that through his eyes. And you can see with his emotions, he's like, all this stuff that I just completed what I wanted, but now everything from here on out is about you and doing this life with you. So I thought
That's
that was also
interesting
really
to
cool.
see it that way. I didn't take it that way at all. I kind of just took it as like he realizes like this kid's going to have to go through, he's going to have a dream of his own one day, and he's going to have to go through as much struggle, if not more, than he did. and he realizes that's what he brought into this world, and he's going to have to
Yeah.
deal with all the same stuff too. But it is cool. I mean, I think it was purposely left open for the viewer to
Yeah.
kind of interpret, which was awesome too. I love when movies do that.
Well, he's like mad at Rachel the whole movie, like throughout,
Yeah.
but then he still loves her. They show, or like, it's like talked about at the beginning how they grew up with each other, kind of thing, calls her sister. But then, like, then the movie again, like he's completed this thing, and then now he like cuddles with her and all that kind of stuff. And he's like, now I want this life. He's like, I want this life with you guys. We have a kid. Cause he's like, this right away, he's like, that's not my baby. That's not mine. But then and in the movie, he's like, no, this is mine. This is my family. As messed up as we are.
Yeah. And then getting into editing, I gave it a 9. I thought it was really good. I thought this movie was obviously really manic, but it was definitely a crazy approach, just how every corner of every frame was filmed in this movie. I don't know if you noticed that. And it moved really, really tight, especially the ping pong scenes with very fast lens flares, which I thought was really cool.
No, it was really well done, really well cut. Again, it was over a 2-hour movie, and it did not feel like it. So usually that means they did a pretty good job of editing it.
Yeah, it felt like 6 hours of watching this guy have a manic episode.
Yeah.
No, it was great. So my overall score, I gave it a 9.4, a 94 out of 100. I really loved this movie. It was everything I was excited to see and more. It was pretty awesome.
Yeah. I gave it literally the same as Zach, a 9.4 out of 10 or 94 out of 100. Yeah, I really enjoyed this movie. At the end of this podcast, we're going to do our top 5s of the year, and we'll see where we place it from there. Because overall, we could talk about it when we talk about 2025, but I think this is a pretty good year.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah. I want to save some other things about Timothée Chalamet, because I think we're going to do it in our Oscar predictions draft. At least one of us is probably going to take him. But
yeah,
one thing, his acne, he actually doesn't have acne. That was all makeup, by the way. He has very clear skin. Apparently, Gwyneth Paltrow on set was trying to give him acne tips. Was like, hey, this is how you should wash your face and all that. He's like, this is makeup, right? And she was like, oh, my bad. I was like, that's kind of crazy. I was like, that's kind of crazy to just like say to someone, though.
And then the whole thing about him wearing like contact lenses that would mess up his eyes so he could then wear corrective glasses. Just nuts.
And then the advertising, I do want to just talk about this movie in general. Like the marketing campaign from him himself. I don't know many actors that have like marketed a movie like this before.
Yeah.
Just like being the forefront of it. Like he went on the top of the spear, did it. He has his own website. He gets logos for it. And then he he has like some of the most famous actors or like the famous people in the world just wearing like their jackets just to show it.
And it's not even like traditional marketing. Like I haven't really seen that many like TV commercials or anything. It's like, he put out that like 10-minute long video of the marketing call they were having where it was obviously all scripted, but it's just hilarious stuff coming up with, just different ideas to do it. The ping pong balls, I don't know if your theater had them, but I saw a couple of theaters had them. There's like a vending machine for ping pong balls. You could go get one. Just like little stuff like that. Stuff that would easily get passed around, word to mouth. Like, so great.
Yeah, he was like, I just want this like orange square to be the center of our marketing campaign. And they're just like, what?
Yeah, it's crazy. It's kind of like killed the box office so far. I don't know if you've seen its 4-day total is 27.2 million, which I think is
this kind of movie, which is really good.
Yeah.
Yeah. A lot of people were predicting it to do like 4 to 5. And I was like, no, it's going to do more than that. But for this kind of movie, an R-rated movie, like an A24 focus, if from the outside perspective looks very artsy. And again, it's about ping pong. How many people are going to be like, oh, what's this movie about? A ping pong player? I'm good. That's what most people are going to think. And then you watch the trailer and you're like, maybe it has me blocked in a little bit.
Yeah.
It's not just about ping pong. I don't know how he gets away with everything he did, though. Like, no way how does he not get arrested?
Yeah.
I mean, it's the 1950s, but like, he should have just like lit people on fire.
Yeah.
At a gas station.
Yeah, it was pretty nuts.
Yeah. Crazy movie. Cool. So the next segment that we're going to get into is going to be an Oscar predictions draft. We didn't really feel comfortable doing a draft of 2025, mainly because since it all came out this year, we haven't had enough time to watch all the movies that we want to. Maybe we will in the future, but we still want to give it some time for the year draft. But rather, we want to predict for the Oscars that will happen in March. It's still 3 months out, so a lot can happen within 3. Because Academy, there's a lot of like, I wouldn't say politics, but a lot of like marketing that goes into it, showing off your movie, doing like different kind of techniques. Studios also like, specifically like try to highlight certain movies. So there's still a lot left within these 3 months, but it'd be fun to just predict what happens. So the categories that we are going to predict are Best Picture, Best Leading Actor, Best Leading Actress, Best Supporting Actor, Best Supporting Actress, Best Director, and Best Animated Feature. And then we're going to put like an underrated or underdog that could be fitting into like any specific category. Like if you wanted to pinpoint out like an actor or actress that you're like, I think they may get a shot at this, or just a movie in general that you're like, this may get into like the Best Picture nominee somehow.
Yeah, I got you.
I think that one would be cool. You could just use it as like a way to shout out a movie that won't be at the Oscars too. But I'm seeing it as more like something that could fit its way in the Oscars that isn't really seen right now or isn't really being predicted right now.
Makes sense.
Cool. All right. We'll do the random wheel that doesn't like me.
So I'll go first.
I get first pick finally. Let's go. Finally. Thank God I got first pick too. Because I think we all know who each other's gonna take.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Best Leading Actor, I am going to take Timothée Chalamet as Marty Supreme.
Yeah, that's good.
I feel like it's his to lose at this point. It's him and Leonardo DiCaprio, I feel like at this point. Like Michael B. Jordan kind of deserves to be involved too, playing 2 different guys. But like the talk that I've heard, it's pretty much Timothée Chalamet and Leonardo DiCaprio. The old versus the young, pretty much.
Yep.
Another thing about this movie that all the ping pong scenes is actually him playing.
Yeah.
Like it's not something cut from a different ping pong player. Like he actually learned for 8 years on like while he's on different sets for different movies. He had specifically asked for a ping pong table to be there, and he was practicing during their breaks, like getting really good at it, which I thought was really cool. Again, just buying into a character. And there's a point to where you think maybe it's method acting, but it's also just like you're becoming the character. When you talk about these great acting performances that we've talked about in the past, you just like, you think of him as Marty Supreme. You think of him as this character himself. He takes over the movie. He's in it for everything except for 5 minutes. Without it, it just doesn't hit. He took up the marketing himself. It's got 3 months. I think he's got a lot of steam ahead for him right now, but he's got 3 months to really fight it out with Leo. Leo may have to get snubbed again, which may go down as like really bad snub, but it's like he's going up against one of the best performances. And he's kind of due one now. So
yeah, I can only pick each movie once, right?
Yes. So we can only pick one movie once as in total, but you can. So if I picked a movie from Marty Supreme, you could pick it, just not in the same category, obviously. So you could pick it for a different category.
But like I can't pick Marty Supreme for every category, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You cannot.
Yeah, that makes sense. Okay. So I got to do some stretching here. So let me go. I'll go ahead and take DiCaprio for Best Leading Actor.
Yeah.
For one battle. Just because I think that will be the tightest race of any of the other ones, probably, if I had to guess.
I think just a tightest for like just between 2 people, if that makes sense. Like there's gonna be 5 nominees, but everyone knows it's just between them 2, pretty much. Yeah. I think Golden Globes is kind of a good sign. So is the SAG. So we'll really see what happens there. But then again, sometimes it just switches up on people and it's just different. But DiCaprio's performance is insane in the movie. He's so good as Bob. Yeah. Another guy that's just like on a manic episode the entire movie.
Yeah. Yeah.
And just going through it.
I know we did it one week, but he was so just hilarious in this movie and done so well. Like you said, kind of just embodying the character. Like I didn't feel like that was the DiCaprio I know. I felt like he was that character more than anything.
Yeah. I wouldn't be upset if one or the other won. I think they both kind of deserve it. So it's like 1A and 1B. Cool. What's your second pick?
Oh, that's right. I get to go again. I think I'm going to steal yours from you. I'm going to take Jessie Buckley as Best Leading Actress for Hamnet, which I haven't seen, but I've heard amazing things, and specifically about her.
Yes. Yeah, you definitely stole that from me. I didn't know. Honestly, didn't think you would do it. So
I had to do it, dude. That's like the one category where I've heard so much too about it. Just like, yeah, it's gonna be her.
yeah, very much everyone said it's like almost a lock
Yeah,
at this point. She doesn't say anything bad about everyone else. It's just like she's just that special. I just watched a movie called The Lost Daughter that she's in with like Dakota Johnson. I forgot her name, but she's really good in it too. She's also gonna be in The Bride in 2026 with like Christian Bale and Jake Gyllenhaal.
Yeah, that should be good.
I definitely need to check out Hamnet. It's definitely one of the
too.
next movies I want to see once it gets released. Cool. All right. I think for me, even though I could wait now because you can't take now, I'm gonna take something else. I'm doing more of a strategy at this point now.
Yeah, me too. I've already been on that. Like I have to.
Yeah. Let's see where we want to go. Man, this is actually becoming really tough.
Yeah, fast.
Yeah. Best supporting. Actually, I don't know where you're gonna go with this. Based off, I think you've been doing a good amount of research, so I feel like I'm gonna take Jafar Panahi, and It Was Just an Accident.
That's for best supporting?
No, for best director.
Okay, sorry.
This is like a Iraqi movie. I don't want to get this wrong, so let me look it up real quick. I haven't seen it yet.
Yeah.
Another thing that I really want to see, I'm just waiting for it to get released out on it's a Janar. I know there's like a lot of like political talk about like the movie itself because so he's from Iran and he's been making these movies like while this whole thing has been going down, like releasing, and the country itself is not very happy with him.
Yeah.
About these kind of movies, but he's still doing it. And this movie won, I think, the Palme d'Or at the film festival. It's won a lot of film festival awards. I've heard it's really good, and I think it's starting to pick up some steam for best director. That's what the streets have been saying. That's what I've been hearing. So I'm intrigued.
To the ground in Iraq.
Yeah, no, from America. Okay. Like all these podcasts I've been here. I'd be surprised if like more than 10 people in Iran has heard it or seen it. Thought about taking something else, but this other guy that I think you may take, I'd be surprised if he's even nominated for best supporting actor. Yeah. For best supporting actor, I'm going to take Stellan Skarsgård from Sentimental Value. Yeah.
Yeah, you ripped that one from me.
I think, again, Streets have been saying he's really good in it. Haven't seen it either. I think it's going to turn into like us saying we haven't seen it, but I plan on seeing all these movies within the next 3 months by far before it comes out. And I actually make who I think should win based off of it. Yeah. Heard really good things. He's really good in like most scenes I've seen him in. So I wouldn't be surprised that he's special in it.
All right. Let me see here. Okay. So for mine, I'm going to take best director. Although I don't think he'll win, I think he is one of my favorite directors of our generation, and Ryan Coogler for Sinners. Although, yeah, he's just going up against way too many powerhouses. I would like to see him win one. I think that'd be pretty great. I'm a big fan of his.
See, I have a feeling he's not going to get nominated.
Dang.
I could be wrong, which he may be like 5. It's just like based off of like the names that are out for it right now. Man, because it's like Paul Thomas Anderson is 100% going to get it.
Yeah.
Jafar Panahi, I've heard, is 100% going to get it. And then
Chloe's
it's like
out.
Chloe's out, Ryan Coogler, Del Toro for Frankenstein. And then who does Sentimental Value, I've also heard. And then you got Benny Safdie as well, because Marty Supreme's starting to get a lot of love. So it's like, dude, it's all over the place of like, who are the 5 going to be?
Yeah.
It's like a lot of good names out there. But I want to see him get some love though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let me see. Sorry, I gotta tweak a little bit here. Dang, this is rough.
Yeah. Especially because
I could really go anybody.
Yeah.
Like
anybody.
They don't have to like even be close to getting nominated.
Yeah, you could go. Yeah. We'll just like it's whoever gets closest to like what it actually turned out to be. And
I'm just gonna take a fill in for now. I'm going to take K-pop Demon Hunters for best animated film. I think this definitely wins.
Yeah. If it doesn't get nominated, I mean, it's 100% going to get nominated. I think it'd be a shame if it didn't win.
Yeah,
That's
this
all I'll
wasn't the
say.
one I was talking about. It's either going to be this or Zootopia strictly. I think Zootopia's animation looked really good, but I don't know. K-pop kind of had a grasp on everybody for like 6 months there.
I've seen it. It's pretty darn good, but its original song only got one, not like one shortlisted, which is
Scary.
kind of BS when you consider like 4 of their songs were like in the top 10 for 5 months,
Yeah.
like all on Billboard and all that. And it's like, that has never happened for a movie like that. So it's like, I don't understand. It better win something. Yeah, that was going to be my best animated.
Yeah.
So for me, I'm going to go, because I feel like I don't know where you would go from here, honestly, at this point. I feel like it's just different ones at this point.
Yeah, I'm just going to have to start coming up with stuff on.
For best supporting actress, I am going to go, who knows who's going to win this? Like, no one actually knows right now.
Yeah, take one of the two. I think there's like 2 main ones.
Yeah, but I'm waiting. I'll just take it off the board because it just needs to already. For best picture, it's going to be one after another.
Yeah. I just can't take it, right? Because I have DiCaprio. Yeah.
Yeah. I genuinely think this is the winner, even 3 months out. It's just picked up so much steam. Everyone loves it. Yeah, I'd be shocked if it didn't win in 3 months at this point. Now, whether or not one after another runs away with all the other categories, like what's happened in the past couple of years, we'll see. I don't think that's what's going to happen. I think the Oscars should, which whenever you say the Oscars should, usually doesn't happen. It should spread out the love and give some more recognition to other movies, but we'll see what actually happens on that day. Great movie. Great movie. Best supporting actress, I think she's going to be nominated. That's the only reason why I'm doing it. I haven't seen it either. Ariana Grande.
There you go.
And Wicked. I haven't seen it. Haven't heard good things, but it's shortlisted for almost every category that it should be. And she got nominated last year for it. So I wouldn't be surprised if she is again.
There's one you left out there I'm kind of shocked by for that category.
Well, yeah, we'll see.
It's mine now.
Yeah,
give me Amy
we'll
Madigan with weapons.
I've heard mixed things as far as like if it's actually going to happen.
Yeah.
The good part about it is that she, in the casting shortlist, Weapons was in it, which is looking good for her. I think she will get nominated. I don't think she's going to win.
Yeah, probably not up against Wicked.
Yeah.
This one is definitely a reach. And I don't even know. I mean, you might be able to explain this better than me. When it comes to supporting actors, especially in a movie where there's a lot of supporting actors, I don't know how that's all decided. I guess is it screen time or is it like...
I'm pretty sure it's a certain amount of screen time it needs to be.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure.
So I don't even know if this will qualify, but I think Joseph Quinn in Warfare was amazing and the best acting I've ever seen him do in anything he's been in, but also just like, I think he stole the show of that movie specifically, and just the pain and sacrifice he was going through in that was pretty intense and crazy.
Yeah. I don't think it'll happen, but I do think it's a great performance. I do think it's a great performance. I don't even think, I mean, he didn't get nominated for a Golden Globe either, which usually that's a good sign of something will happen. All right.
And then, that was my 2.
Yeah. For best leading actress, I'm doing Rose Byrne and If I Had Legs, I'd Kick You. I think it's pretty much confirmed that she's going to get nominated, but she's going up against almost a lock. So I don't think she'll win, but I heard she's really good in it. She's usually known for like more funny movies. Like she's in Neighbors with Seth Rogen. So I think I actually really want to watch this movie. I may watch it tonight, but I heard it's one of those movies that you have to be prepped to watch it if the name doesn't give off anything.
Yeah.
But I do want to see her like in actually like a serious role. So that'd be cool.
Yeah.
And then, man, I'll just do it. I'm going to for underrated, I really hope this happens. I don't think it will based off of the short list, but you never know. Adam Sandler and Jay Kelly for underrated or underdog for best supporting actor. He got nominated for a Golden Globe. So like maybe I watched Jay Kelly. He is by far the best part of that movie, which is also funny because he's playing a manager for a big actor when Adam Sandler arguably I think is a bigger actor than George Clooney.
Yeah.
Where George Clooney is straight up playing himself, Adam Sandler's like going way out of his play to play this guy that's supporting a big actor. But yeah, I hope it happens. I think he's really special in it. I think the movie itself is all right, but he's really good. It's one of my favorite performances of the year.
So It's my last two, right?
Yep.
So I'm going to take Marty Supreme for Best Picture. I think you could tell I was saving that one.
Yeah. Well,
And
after I
then,
took it, and you were like, "Yep,
yeah, I just got to wait that one out.
yep,
So I don't even know if this is necessarily an underdog. I wanted to take Warfare for Best Sound Design
yeah."
because I don't even know if it'll get nominated compared to the rest of them. But with that, I'll just take F1 for Best Sound Design,
Yeah.
which might actually win.
Yeah, it will win.
But
Which
I
again
don't
is like,
think my main thing with F1 is I don't think it'll get nominated for a lot. But if it were to win one thing, I believe it would be sound design.
my second take for underrated or underdog is F1 getting nominated for Best Picture. I think it's going to happen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Because it's
think
gotten a
that'll
lot
be
of
it though. Those two.
Yeah. Yeah. I think yeah. I don't know what would win Best Sound Design over it other than one battle after another or.
Think Wicked will get nominated.
But I think those will compete for Best Score. Or are you talking about the same thing?
No, specifically sound design.
Okay. Yeah. I think
Wicked,
F1's going to win Best Sound
Sinners.
Design.
This is what my research is telling me.
Okay. Yeah. I think Best Score should be Sinners. I hope. That score is amazing.
Yeah, it is so good.
All right. My last pick, Utopia 2. 100%
Yeah.
going to be nominated. It's just, what does the Academy feel like doing that day? Doing like a crazy original movie like K-pop Demon Hunters that took the world by storm, or a sequel. There's nothing against Utopia 2. I heard it's good. It's just like, I don't know. K-pop Demon Hunters deserves its love. It should win. Can't just give it to Pixar every year or Disney every year, man. Can't give it to them every year. You gotta fight for it. Cool. So for that, I got, for Best Picture, I did One Battle After Another. Best Leading Actor, Timothée Chalamet for Marty Supreme. Best Leading Actress, Rose Byrne and If I Had Legs, I'd Kick You. Best Supporting Actor, Stellan Skarsgård and Sentimental Value. Best Supporting Actress, Ariana Grande and Wicked for No Good. Best Director, Jafar Panahi for It Was Just an Accident. Best Animated, Zootopia 2. And underrated, Adam Sandler and Jay Kelly for Best Supporting Actor.
Yeah, for mine, for Best Picture, I took Marty Supreme. For Leading Actor, I took DiCaprio in One Battle. Leading Actress, I took Jessie Buckley from Hamnet. A Supporting Actor, I took Joseph Quinn from Warfare. Supporting Actress, I took Amy Madgton from Weapons. Best Director, I took Ryan Coogler for Sinners. Best Animated, I took K-pop Demon Hunters. And Underdog, I took F1 for Sound Design.
Yeah, I obviously do not have Sinners on mine. We're about to do our ranking. It's because if you got the first pick, I think my strategy would have totally switched up about what I was going to do. Because I also think the Best Supporting Actor is going to be a One Battle After Another guy. Yeah. I think it's going to be Del Toro or it's going to be Sean Penn.
Yeah, I agree.
So I was going to take one of them because I think they're going to win it. And then I was just going to take Sinners in Best Picture because I think it's going to be nominated.
Yeah.
That would have been my strategy the other way if that's what happened.
That makes sense.
Or Michael B. Jordan, Best Leading Actor, because I think he will be nominated. He's just going up against two juggernauts.
Yeah.
But we'll see.
All right. Let's do our top 5.
Okay. You want me to do so comparing to value, like how many have we seen? Justin, how many movies have you seen this year?
It's like 16, 17.
Okay. I have seen 71 to compare. So do you mind if I give off like my top 10, just like my 10 through 6 real quick?
Do it, man.
Yeah. So this is my 10 through 6 as of now. This is going to probably change drastically by the time the Oscars actually roll around. But at number 10, I have Wake Up Dead Man. Number 9, I have F1. Number 8, Thunderbolts. I love Thunderbolts. I've been going through this ranking. At one point, I had it 14. One point, I moved it up to like 4, and then I moved it back to 8.
Dang.
I really like Thunderbolts. It was such a cool movie. It was like a Marvel is back kind of thing. And then Fantastic Four didn't hit as hard for me. I just really liked the unorthodox family of it all. Florence Pugh was great in it. I just think it was such a well done, like this is what Marvel is about kind of movie. Eddington is number 7 for me. Another very controversial movie that a lot of people either hate or love. And then number 6 for me is Warfare.
I'll start with my number 5 being Warfare then.
Perfect.
Yeah.
You want to talk about it a little bit?
Yeah, I watched this movie on the flight when we came out to visit you, actually, and I'm glad there was no kids around because this movie is graphic. It was such a cool story, and being a war story, we oftentimes see that they jump around a lot. I think we talked about that with Catherine Bigelow when we did her. This was so cool, just seeing it from literally a group of soldiers in a house, and only from their perspective. We never cut outside of their perspective, which was so cool to me. It really kept you in the action. The sound design was great. I just really enjoyed this movie. And it was a very, I guess you could say, small film. It didn't feel like there was this giant battle scale like you would see maybe with like a World War II movie. It felt
Yeah.
very contained and whole.
It wasn't a Hollywood-esque movie where it was like no happy endings, no thing. This was just like the worst day in some of these guys' lives. And some of them, it was just another day. It was just another day of their job. And one of them is the reason why I hit. And it's also like the guy that wrote it / pretty much helped direct it all alongside Alex Garland was the guy that lost his legs in the movie. Like he helped the entire movie, which was so cool. I thought it was a lot of cool parts that were like very realistic. Like the
Yeah.
drone part, just so many cool parts to it. Crazy cast too when you look at it.
Yes.
Like they're just like actors that are so young in their career but are coming up right now, like Will Poulter, Kit Connor, Joseph Quinn. There's so many. The one guy from Riverdale, forgot his name. Charles Melton. Dude, just all of them. So good. Cool. My number 5, The Ballad of Wallace Island. So this movie is on Prime right now. Highly recommend. It's 100 minutes. So it's like hour 30, hour 40. Just some nice, like unique story that isn't, again, we talked about small film. It's not huge at all. It's quite literally just on this island. It's between like really 2 guys and one where like this eccentric billionaire wants to hire his favorite band ever to come out play for him personally. But then it turns into like this really emotional movie about like grief and moving on, but then also like, how connections can happen unorthodox and how you can like improve yourself as a person. 2 actors that I had no idea who they were before, but it's such an easy watch. And the music in it is so good. Like it's my kind of music, like, like very slow, like very instrumental, acoustic kind of music. So I really liked it.
You made me like want to end this and go turn it on. I don't know. You explained that one really well.
Yeah. Yeah. Dude, I love the movie. I watched it on the flight out to back home before Christmas. And I was like, wow, that movie was special for just such a small movie.
I'll have to check it out.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'll go with my number 4. I don't think you'll like this one. Superman, number 4. I don't want to be that guy to pick a superhero movie in the top 5 of the year, but this movie like really sat with me so well. Even like, 7 months later, it didn't feel like Thunderbolts for me. It didn't feel like Fantastic Four to me, where it was just like another superhero movie. One, I feel like it was the kickstart that DC needed to like get off the ground and go. But 2, like just such great themes, such like a great family telling story. And just like the whole idea of like family is what you make of it. And not being like confined to like what the world tells you have to be. There's so many great themes, such great acting in this movie. And then obviously like James Gunn cooks with the CGI and the fun, like, really outlandish comic book feel was perfect for this movie, better than any of the Guardians movies, in my opinion, just for that specific comic book feel. I like the Guardians movies a little bit better, but that comic-y, like, storytelling feel was pristine in this movie to me. And that's exactly what I've always imagined as a kid, seeing a comic book jump to the TV.
Yeah.
And yeah, it really stuck with me in that sense.
Yeah, I like Superman. Like, don't get me wrong. I think I gave it, what did I give it? Yeah, I gave it 4 stars. Like, it was my number 15 for the year. I did not like it. Yeah. If I had to compare it to like what is good, like what the Marvel started off with, because Marvel started off really small with like single movies that never really grew big in scheme. I compare this more to like how Avengers kind of grew it big. Rather Superman, it also kind of relies on the fact that like we as a general public are very aware of like comic movies and we can take bigger concepts now. I think if this movie comes out in 2008, not accepted as well because it's like, dude, that's too big. And it's the fact that we're so open to such big ideas now that you can have a movie like this do so well.
Yeah, for sure. Like without the MCU, this movie doesn't exist, obviously either. And just James Gunn in general. But it was such a fun adaptation, and I really am excited to see where they're going, almost more so than I am with Marvel, honestly, at this point.
Yeah. I am until I saw the teaser trailers for Doomsday, and I was like, why did we all stop believing in the Russo brothers like this?
Yeah.
I was like, the Russo brothers have never done us wrong. Like, what are we doing? And now it's got me excited for Doomsday all over again.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, all right, these teaser trailers look really good. For my number 4 is Weapons. I really like Weapons. I don't know why it's gotten so much hate all of a sudden in the last 2 months. I thought the movie experience itself was one of the most unique movie experiences of anything I've seen this year. Such original ideas. Zach Kreger is such a good horror fan. Like, he's such a good horror director. So good. And it's so fun of like a horror movie, which horror movies usually don't describe as fun. It doesn't scare the crap out of you. There's some like jump scenes, but it actually has good stories centered around these different plot characters where it jumps and adds onto it as well. I really liked it. I don't understand some of the hate that it's getting all of a sudden from people, but yeah, best horror movie of the year so far that I've seen.
I don't know if you'd classify Sinners as a real horror movie. I'd say it's definitely more of a thriller, but that's my number 3. I love this movie. I'm not really a horror thriller guy, but I cannot deny that everything in this movie cooked. The acting was amazing. The directing was amazing. The cinematography was great. The sound design was beautiful. It was just checked all the boxes for me. I don't think there's many people that would say this was a bad movie.
Yeah.
It was pretty amazing to see. I'm still kind of sticking by the fact that I'm pretty sure this was the plot of the failed Blade movie at Marvel, because they just happened to move everybody over, including all the costume design and everything, to Warner Brothers and then make this movie.
Yeah.
But yeah, great movie.
Yeah, I have it higher on the list, so I'll just wait to talk about it then for my personal. For my number 3, it's One Battle After Another.
Yeah.
I really like One Battle After Another.
It's my number 2.
Yeah, it's so good. Like, the final chase scene is so cool. I think this movie, from like critics and all that, is getting a lot of love for a lot of good reasons. I think this is one of PTA's more together films, from top to bottom. But then there are some points of the movie to where at 3 months out, I don't understand why it's such a lock of a Best Picture winner, in my opinion. Like, it's pretty much a lock right now. Like, I don't have, everyone's like so confident that it's winning, and I just don't think it should be. I think it should be between them and another movie. Like, even if that other movie isn't my number 1 of the year, I think it should be between that and Sinners. I don't think it should just be like almost guaranteed. Yeah, but it's still a great movie nonetheless. But
I have it number 2. I really enjoyed it, but I definitely understand what you're saying. I think it's a tighter race for most people than it is for the critics, for some reason.
Yeah. I mean, performances are great. All of them, like even like the smaller ones. Chase Affinity, somehow her first movie, she just kills it out of the park. Teyana Taylor she has a Grammy, and yet may win an Oscar. What is up with this year and actors being like rappers, just turning into good actors?
Yeah.
Because Teyana Taylor, Tyler the Creator, but then A$AP Rocky, apparently in Highest to Lowest, is really good.
Mm-hmm. I've heard.
So,
I mean, he was on like GQ with like huge actors.
Yeah.
And
which
like,
I was like,
they had like the meeting with like Glenn Powell and Lakeith Stanfield, A$AP Rocky. I was like, what is he doing there? I didn't even know he was in a movie this year.
So we'll see. Yeah. My number 2 is, because you already pretty much said your number 2, right? Or do you want to talk about One Battle After anymore, or no?
No. I mean, like you said, it's a really great movie, but I think it is a closer battle than they're making it out to be right now.
Yeah. My number 2, oh man, I may switch it up last minute. Yeah, I'm going to switch it up last minute. My number 2 is Marty Supreme.
Dang, okay. Because I saw on your letterbox today, you said movie of the year on your Marty Supreme rating.
Dude, it's so hard.
Big spoiler alert. I know.
It's so hard because it's between these two. So my number 3, 4, and 5, and then up until I think number 8, no, up until 7 are 4.5. Sinners and Marty Supreme for me are 5-star movies. Almost like perfect down to the T for me.
Yeah.
So it's really hard to rank. It could switch each week. I think I need to rewatch Marty Supreme. That's my thing. I've rewatched Sinner already twice, so now 3 times total, and I still love it. Mm-hmm. And I still think it should be, if there was a Tyler Award, would be the Best Picture winner. But Marty Supreme, we've talked about it a lot during this podcast. Such a cool movie that so much hype coming into it, like from like the marketing campaign and all that, and it lived up to it and exceeded it. Such a cool, which in years past, I don't think this movie gets as much love as it did this year,
Yeah.
which is really cool thing about the world today, and like being able to like really shine bright movies that deserve more love, not really taking chances.
Yeah. No, I agree. What if I just came out was like Zootopia #1? That'd be like Mine's Marty Supreme. Yeah. We talked in excess about it tonight. I went in with it with very high expectations, and it somehow exceeded those from every aspect. The acting, the cinematography, the directing, sound design, everything was just perfect in this movie. And like you said, I definitely want to go see it again, or maybe just wait till it comes out on streaming, wherever it will, and really dive deep into it again and
Yeah.
look for things I might have missed, especially when it comes to like cinematography and that stuff.
Yeah. And see if it like has the same effect as it does the first time. You know, a big
Yeah.
movie thing too is like how rewatchable is it?
Mhm.
Which I think this movie will be really rewatchable based off of like how the plot is.
Yeah.
Yeah, my #1 is Sinners. I love this movie. Again, it's like a 10 out of 10, 5 out of 5 for me. I just think it's almost perfect to the T. It's like has a horror aspect to it, but you're not really scared. I think it's more thriller than anything, but Michael B. Jordan is so special in this. Ryan Coogler has this original idea. I think for the Oscars, what it's going to win is Best Original Screenplay. I think it
Yeah.
will win that, and I think it does deserve to win that. And then they'll give Best Picture to One Battle After Another. I think it's a crazy good year as well. I think I'm so closely tied to Sinners because it's the first movie I saw when I came out to Vegas. It was like right, it came out right when I moved out here. It's the first movie I saw in the theaters once I moved out to a new place, and I've rewatched it on HBO now twice and loved it more and more each time. Just different things about it. The music's so good in it too.
Yeah. Do you
Like
think it'll
the
fall
one,
victim? Sorry, go ahead.
I think the best original song, it's between, I think that song has a good chance of winning.
Yeah. Especially if they snub out K-pop Demon Hunters.
Yeah.
Do you think it'll fall victim to, coming out so early in the year? I mean, what do you make of that? I know a lot of people will make a lot of that some years.
Yeah. A lot of people, at least podcasts I've been listening to, be like, oh, it came out too early. So like it's going to fall victim of being on too long. And it also has the same studios as One Battle After Another. So it's like the studio is putting two big dogs up against each other.
Yeah.
Which we'll see how that turns out. I think no, because at this point, I think it still has just as much steam. I think people are still, Ryan Coogler's like doing stuff in New York and LA to like promote it still. Yeah.
He was, him and Nolan were on stage together talking about it. And he said he denied becoming a voter for the Oscars just because he didn't have time. But I wonder if that'll have any influence on it too. You never know how they'll behave.
Yeah, exactly. I think, we'll see what happens, but it's definitely my favorite movie of the year. I'd be surprised if anything that I haven't watched yet surpasses it at this point. I still got a good amount that we've been talking about for the Oscar predictions and all that. We still have to check out and all that. Yeah. Overall, what do you think this is a good year for movies? Obviously, you haven't watched as many. Yeah.
I mean, part of the reason I was going to explain myself was I've been trying to catch up on so many movies that people for so long have been saying I've been missing out on. And, we've been doing that a lot with this podcast. You've been putting me on to a lot of different things as well, which I'm super thankful for. But the unfortunate side effect of that is I've missed out on so many things that came out this year. Not only TV, or it's not only movie, but also TV. Like I've just put off so many shows because we've been watching so many movies. Even when, I take many vacations to come out and see you or do other things, I've like hammered out like 9 movies in the travel time. And you're like, how did you, it's just like 9 random movies I've been wanting to watch, nothing to do with this year or the podcast really ever. It's just like random stuff.
No, yeah. It's definitely hard because you're like trying to catch up on the past.
But that's the fun in it too. I've enjoyed it so much, and it's like expanded my mind so much, and different genres, different themes. It's been really fun. Yeah.
I think it's been a great year. Like I would say my top 25, I would all rewatch like right now if I wanted to.
Yeah.
I don't think you could say that about a lot of years. Maybe a recency thing, but I think it's been a good year for horror, comic book movies. I think overall have been like up this year since like the last 2 years. I think the last 2 years has been really weak other than Guardians of the Galaxy 3. And then it's like this year, Fantastic Four is kind of forgettable in my opinion, but like Fantastic Four, Superman, and Thunderbolts, I think are really good, like comic book movies. And then we don't even want to talk about Captain America. Don't even bring that one up. That's an example of like Marvel trash.
Yeah. And I think like obviously that movie just fell apart because of like the extensive reshoots, but it's just like, just cancel it. I'd rather cancel it and get something else out of Marvel than.
Yeah. Awesome. Yeah. This was a fun podcast to recap the year. Thank you for listening.
See ya.